In this video, I'm going to be talking about the ZwoBot VSine device. ZwoBot is a suite of Max for Live devices that allows you to create visuals inside Ableton. The VSine device generates a pattern, and then you can have that pattern be modulated by the BPM or by the audio. I've already connected it to my player and I've switched it on, and you can see this is the pattern that it's currently generating. So you don't need any visuals for this, you don't need to load in any images or video because it will generate visuals by itself. So here we've got speed. This controls the speed of the movement of the pattern. And then underneath that we've got this Deform dial, which will add some warping to it. Over here we've got wave mode. This controls the type of pattern that is going to be generated, and it's based on waveforms. So by default it's a sine wave, so we're getting this wavy sine wave here. Then it's flip, so that is still a sine wave, but it splits it into these different sections. Then you've got a square wave, so that creates a square pattern, and again it's split it into these different sections here. Then we've got a triangle and a sawtooth, so that's a kind of diagonal waveform. So there you can change the shape of your pattern, and then at the bottom here we've got wave orientation. That's going to change the direction that it's going in. So currently it's set to horizontal, but you can change it to be vertical here. And then you've got two diagonal options. And here we've got a control for the density. That changes the density of the pattern. And then wave changes the width of it. You can see it's getting more compressed as I turn it up. So these density and wave dials will allow you to fine-tune the pattern. Over here we've got a modulate option. This will allow you to modulate the bright and dark parts of the pattern. So you can see this is moving around the brighter and darker parts. And then under here we've got three modulation options. These are just different ways that the colours of the pattern will be displayed. And then you can modulate that here. So this square wave is going to be just two colours. So in this case it's black and white, there's no greys there. So you can get a more minimalist pattern with that. This one has black and white, but there's some blurring in there, so that gives you a shadow effect. And then this one you've got more shades of grey, so you get more of a 3D effect. Down here we've got wave crossing. This will add an additional layer of the pattern. So if I just click add, you can see we've got this additional layer here, and I think it always adds it going in the opposite orientation. And then down here you've got two blending options. So if you want that layer to be blended in, you can click blend, or if you want it to be blended using the difference blend mode, you can choose difference. And then we can change the color of the pattern up here using this color dial, and you can control the brightness of it with this color bright dial. And if you click this plus button, you can save some presets. If you click the set button, that will save it. So let's just save a few different options here. And then when you want to recall them, you click on the numbers. So if I click on 1, I'm back to that one, 2, and 3. Make sure you don't click on set when you want to recall them, because I'll overwrite it with whatever the current settings are. And if you want to delete a preset, you can just click the X button and that'll remove it. And you can save your presets by clicking this button. It'll save it as a JSON file. And then you can open an existing JSON file using this open button. So that'll save it to wherever you choose on your desktop, and then you just open it from the same location. We've also got the option to have this effect be applied as a texture. So if you have an image or a video, you can use this to apply the effect as a texture to that. So I've got this image loaded into my video deck. If I click this T button, we've now got that effect being applied on top of the image. Most of these controls have the option to make them respond to the audio. We've got these high and low buttons here. What I can do, I'm going to have the density maybe responds to the lower frequencies, so I can click this low button next to density. I can have the wave responds to the higher frequencies, and I can do the same for these wave modes. And they also have beat controls, so I can use these buttons here to have them respond to the BPM. That'll change in sync with the project BPM. And how fast that BPM sync changes will depend on what you've got set on your master beat control on your ZwoBot player. And in the bottom left hand corner, we've got our usual transparency and blend mode options. So this slider changes the overall transparency of the effect. And then here we've got a selection of blend modes that will allow us to blend it with the underlying image.